So then, boys and girls, with the new Premier League season now edging ever closer, we have some more very interesting Leicester transfer news. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have now identified James Maddison as their #1 transfer target for this summer. We have some very interesting news on that potential transfer move. In other news, Leicester look to be highly interested in West Brom midfielder Matheus Pereira, as a move back to the Premier League is definitely on for the Brazilian international. We'll discuss all that, boys and girls, in today's video as we get into the latest video discussing Leicester transfers. Here we go. Yes lads, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today, boys and girls, we are back once again, discuss the latest Leicester transfer rumours and news. Of course, today we'll go through all the updates around James Maddison's potential transfer to Arsenal this summer. And believe me, boys, we have a very big update on this potential transfer move. And of course, we'll also go for the latest news around West Brom's Matheus Pereira and his potential move to Leicester this summer, of everything you guys need to know about the transfer and the player itself. And just before we proceed on with today's video, boys and girls, I have a bit of an announcement to make. The Football Content Awards voting has now officially opened. So yeah, boys, there'll be full details in the description down below on how to vote and how to hopefully see me bring a trophy back to Leicester, or hopefully get to the final first. Of course, you can vote on Instagram, Twitter, and also the Football Content Awards website. Full details will be in the description down below. Make sure you guys go and vote for me if you have enjoyed the content over the past year or so. But yeah, without further ado, boys, let's jump straight into today's video and let's discuss the latest Leicester transfer news. Here we go. Right then, starting things off then, let's discuss James Maddison and his potential transfer to Arsenal this summer. So then lads, the James Maddison saga is continuing, and believe me boys, this is probably going to go on for the next few weeks or so, because yeah, this transfer has been going on for some time. So then, the first thing on the agenda in today's video, the AFC report have said that James Maddison is Arsenal's #1 transfer target this summer. They're also working towards other players such as Mario Locatelli and Hassan Aouar. So yeah, boys, James Maddison is Arsenal's #1 transfer target this summer. And to be honest, lads, it is completely understandable. Of course, Arsenal have been crying out for a new number 10. Of course, last season they opted to go with Martin Odegaard on loan. Didn't really work out, so it looks like their attention has switched back to Leicester's James Maddison. Looks like Arsenal will be going all in to try and sign Leicester's number 10 this summer. So yeah, not the best of news, to be honest. You know, Arsenal look to be heavily interested in this man. And as we can see from this report right here, it said that Arsenal are very confident in sealing the deal for James Maddison this summer, despite his £70 million price tag, which, you know, is a shock to me, because, you know, Arsenal, they've already made some big signings this summer. Are they going to really go out and spend £70 million for me? It's not a shock at all, Leicester putting a £70 million price tag on him, but, you know, are Arsenal going to really spend £70 million on James Maddison this summer? Of course, Arsenal are very desperate for a new number 10 this season. Could come into the Emirates with me, you know, that's what they've lacked over the last couple of seasons. But for me, Arsenal fans, can you really see your board really paying £70 million for James Maddison? Let me know in the comment section down below. And Leicester fans, do you think this is going to really happen? I believe not, so I don't think there's too much to worry about. And later on in this video, we have some big news around how this deal may not happen. However, with the latest developments on this transfer, the Football Transfers have said that Arsenal are willing to offer a player a swap deal in this potential transfer, plus a transfer fee, which, you know, is very interesting. And as we can see from this report right here, those players potentially in the swap deal are either Ainsley Maitland-Niles or Reiss Nelson. So it looks like Arsenal will be offering a sum of cash and maybe Ainsley Maitland-Niles or Reiss Nelson on the side are part of this transfer. For me, can I see that happening? Not at all. Of course, back in January, it was reported that Leicester were heavily interested in a loan move for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And for me, that interest has kind of transferred to this potential deal for James Maddison. That is the reason why Arsenal have potentially going to put Ainsley Maitland-Niles in this potential swap deal, plus some cash. For me, that is done. I don't think Leicester are now interested in Ainsley Maitland-Niles. The reason why Leicester were interested in him in January was just to do with our injury crisis. You know, we were crying out for anyone at the time. Of course, he went to West Brom, which, you know, wasn't really the right decision. But with Reiss Nelson, that is a bit of a strange one in my opinion. First of all, would Reiss Nelson start for Leicester? Probably not. And even would Ainsley Maitland-Niles start for Leicester? Probably not at all. So some interesting from Arsenal. I mean, you know, they're not the worst of players, but really, if you're going to have a swap deal, at least we're going to want to have someone who's going to have a pretty good chance of starting in the Leicester side. And I think that leads on to the point of James Maddison to Arsenal. Is it a downgrade? We'll get onto that later on in the video, but of course, that is a big thing in this transfer. Is James Maddison going to Arsenal a downgrade from him staying at Leicester? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that, boys and girls, in the comment section down below. We'll discuss that later on in today's video. However, in the last few hours, we have seen a major change to this transfer. And for us Leicester fans, here comes the good news. The main man, Fabrizio Romano, has spoken on this transfer. He has said that my feeling on Maddison has always been, talking with people close to Leicester, is that the fee overall is too high and it'll be really difficult to sign him this summer for Arsenal. So there we go, boys and girls. He's 70 million price tag. My thoughts on Fabrizio Romano, you know, it's come together. For me, it is way too much for Arsenal to pay, and overall, that is the reason why I cannot see this transfer happening this summer. And to follow that straight up, we've got a report from reliable Arsenal journalist David Ornstein. He has said that he thinks James Maddison to Arsenal would be a huge financial stretch for Arsenal and is unrealistic after Smith Rowe recently signed a new deal. And you know, James Maddison was going to sign for Arsenal. He was promised the number 10 shirt. Who's got the number 10 shirt now? Emile Smith Rowe. And to be honest, lads, when I saw that Smith Rowe signing the contract for Arsenal, you know, I was pretty buzzing, because for me, that pretty much confirms that James Maddison will be staying at Leicester. So then, some very interesting news around James Maddison. For me, this deal and this saga is not over, but for me, it's kind of swayed in Leicester's favour in the last 24 hours, with some reliable journalists in Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein giving us some positive news as Leicester fans. And just before we discuss Matheus Pereira, I'm going to send it straight over to you guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on James Maddison at Arsenal in the comment section down below. The number one question, is it a downgrade? For me, it is a downgrade. Yes, Arsenal are a much bigger club than Leicester, but are Arsenal better than Leicester at the moment? No, they are not. So for me, it is a downgrade. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this whole transfer saga in the comment section down below. But yeah, boys, let's move on to discuss Matheus Pereira. Right then, moving straight on then, man like Matheus Pereira and his transfer to Leicester potentially this summer. So then, for those of you who don't know who Matheus Pereira is, he's a 25-year-old attacking midfielder who can play on that right hand side, drift inside, a very technical player, and for me, the final piece in Leicester's puzzle. Of course, Leicester have been crying out for a new right winger / account who can drift inside, create chances, and for me, Matheus Pereira is exactly that. And of course, he's now back in the Championship with West Brom, and he's looking for a move back to the Premier League. Could Leicester be that club? In recent days, we have got a very interesting report from Pedro Almeida, who has said that Leicester and West Ham are very interested in Matheus Pereira. So West Ham and Leicester look to be fighting this out. There has been some other interest from the likes of Aston Villa as well, who look to be interested in Matheus Pereira as well. But for me, seeing that Leicester are interested, of course, first of all, is a positive sign. And for me, I think Leicester can really push on and try and bring the Brazilian to the King Power. And some more very big news around Matheus Pereira. Apparently, according to reports, he will be missing West Bromwich Albion's pre-season. I don't know if that's because of international football, but for me, I can't really remember seeing him a part of the Brazilian national team in the Copa America. So some very interesting news there that he won't be turning up to West Brom's pre-season, which, you know, pretty much confirms that he will be leaving. And according to this report, Leicester are the #1 club interested in the Brazilian international. However, from the support from Ryan Taylor, he says that West Ham could be the main club interested in Matheus Pereira if they can't secure the signature of Jesse Lingard, which, you know, for me is pretty understandable. Obviously, West Ham need a new attacking midfielder. It doesn't look like Jesse Lingard will be returning back to the Hammers, so could West Ham be the #1 club? It says here that Leicester have not followed all the interest, but for me, in recent days, we kind of have, because this tweet is from a few weeks ago, so for me, both clubs seem to be interested as well, and it looks like it's going to be a battle between West Ham and Leicester signing Brazilian. And just to back that straight up, as we can see from here, it tells us that a number of different clubs are interested in Matheus Pereira, and the reported fee is around £30 million, which to me, you know, is quite high, but it is reasonable. I think we may be able to learn that between West Brom and Leicester through negotiations. And it looks like an offer has already been made for Matheus Pereira. Some random Saudi Arabian team, I don't know who they are, they're probably not that random in Saudi Arabia, they're probably the best one, but apparently, according to reports, a 15 million bid has been placed. I think, you know, West Brom will be rejecting this, but according to reports, Leicester need to act on this transfer right now, show the interest and put in a bid towards West Brom and try and make Pereira think about Leicester and hopefully can come to Leicester this summer. So yeah, that's the latest rumours on Matheus Pereira and his potential transfer to Leicester. Nothing major right now, but it's definitely clear to see that Leicester have a high interest in the Brazilian international. So as always, boys and girls, let me know your thoughts and opinions on Matheus Pereira in the comment section down below. Should we sign him? Should we not? For me, this will be a fantastic signing. He's got everything what Leicester need. A left-footed right winger, can cut inside, bring back the memories of Riyad Mahrez, create chances, very technical player, and of course he performed very well in a struggling West Brom side last year. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, lads, down below. So then, boys and girls, that's it for today's video. Of course, in today's video, we went for the latest Leicester transfer rumours, and of course we discussed James Maddison and his latest news around his move to Arsenal, just then Matheus Pereira and his potential transfer to Leicester from West Brom. So as always, boys and girls, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section down below. Drop a like on today's video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't seen my face on your screen before. We're now on the road to the massive 3,000 subscribers. But yeah, boys, I'm in Sportsa, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace, guys.